Breaking economic data, the U.S. economy added 115,000 jobs in April, more than expected. The unemployment rate held steady at 4.3%. Here to break down the numbers, NBC News business and economy reporter Allie Canal, and she's joined by Investopedia's editor-in-chief and chief business editor of People Inc., Caleb Silver. Good morning to both of you. Allie, you're at the big board there. Walk us through the numbers and just how they compare with the past few months.
Yeah, really solid gains here. And just to remind viewers, this is a back-to-back when we think about the expectation versus the reality here. So as you said, 115,000 jobs. The estimate was for 55,000, so more than double the estimate. And March, that was that other blowout jobs report, that was actually revised higher by another 7,000 to 185,000. So we're almost at the top here. Now, February, that was a pretty brutal month. We had quite a bit of strikes. We had some bad weather to contend with. The original estimate was 133,000. That was revised lower by 23,000 to a loss of just around 156,000 jobs. But we are still chugging along here when we think about the U.S. labor market. The unemployment rate continuing to hold steady at 4.3%. This little gap here was when we had that government shutdown. But by historical standards, this is pretty good. This is pretty solid. But it's interesting because you have this juxtaposition when you talk to folks out there that are struggling to find a job. Still a low hire, low fire labor market, Joe.
All right, Caleb, your thoughts?
Yeah, the long-term unemployed, this is a metric I like to look at because this is people who are trying to get back in the labor force and can't. That held steady at 1.8 million. People that are even trying to get any job, period, that's around 6 million. Those are holding steady, and this is what this jobs report tells you. You saw Allie's board there, a lot of red, a lot of blue, a lot of red, a lot of blue. This is the right sizing of the labor force in America. What you want to watch is the unemployment rate of 4.3%. That's almost full employment, sector by sector. Allie will take you through it. The strength is where the strength has been, but also some new strength in transportation and warehousing. That's actually a good sign, despite the fact that we had higher energy prices.
That sets up Allie perfectly. Let's break it down in different categories where we can see the strengths and the weaknesses there.
Yeah, as Caleb said, the strength is where the strength has been, and that continues to be in healthcare. It's National Nurses Week, so solid gains here in healthcare sector. 37,000 jobs added. Leisure and hospitality, that's your bars, restaurants, heading into the very busy summer season. That was up by 15,000 jobs. And manufacturing, we'd like to continue to track manufacturing. The past couple of months, we've seen some gains here, but we actually saw a loss of 2,000 jobs. So just one of those sectors that we continue to watch and track.
Federal Reserve meets when?
Yeah, 40 days, 5 hours and 50 minutes. I'm not counting, you're counting, but don't expect any change, even though by then we'll likely have a new Fed chair in place in the form of Kevin Warsh. But if the Fed and any economist is looking at this, they're saying, the labor market's fine. Let's be concerned about inflation due to these rising energy costs. That problem may be mitigated by then, too. So no change expected by the Fed when they meet next time.
All right, Allie, another thing we like to look at is just wage growth. What are we seeing there?
Well, the good thing is wages continue to outpace inflation. Wages coming in at 3.6%. Inflation is at 3.3%, but we've seen inflation steadily tick up month by month as we continue to wade through this Iran war, as that pushes energy prices higher. I do expect inflation to be even higher next week once we get those refreshed CPI numbers. But for the meantime, the fact that we have wages outpacing, that's good, but the gap is closing a little bit. So it's something we want to continue to watch, because if people start to feel like their dollar isn't going to go as far, that's when you're going to see some cracks out there in the economy.
So, Caleb, just big picture, what does this mean for us? What does it mean for our wallets? What does it say about where we are right now?
Yeah, we're in a steady state for the labor market here. Don't expect any interest rate changes, so those payments are not going to come down if you're financing something. And there are jobs, but the jobs are in those lower paying sectors. We've seen some big layoffs in tech. That was kind of offset by all the hiring in the other places. Steady state right now, sort of a barbecue, low barbecue for the U.S. economy.
All right, sounds good. Caleb and Allie, thank you both. Appreciate it.
We thank you for watching, and remember, stay updated on breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or watch live on our YouTube channel.